Alright, hey guys, it's Crispy Sonic here, and I'm gonna do another ship review for all of the ships. I did a video about this before, and I was Colonial last time, but I bought a few more ships and upgraded them, and so I wanted to kind of do another one of these reviews, and also I got a new mic so it'll sound better. And yeah, so let's go through it. I have some new opinions. It's been a while, and so let's get into it. So the normal Raider, Advanced Raider, I still feel the same, just like my Viper in my other video. Everything avoidance, you could take off one of the comps and put on a damage buff if you want. But it's insanely hard to hit, and it's already really fast in the turn rate, and it's still decently powerful. Even with like power levels, and you could still put on weapons and have enough power. The only thing I'd probably change was the 2 DC thing. It's kind of you really run out of power pretty fast, so I'd say put on an armor or something and then put on a 1 DC, and then you're totally good. Really powerful still, and it's just still a really viable ship. And then you have the Heavy Raider. Now the Heavy Raider is still like really awesome with strike. Just like I was saying in the last video, I really think it's viable still versus escorts. It's got enough avoidance so you can survive. Just try to get in blind spots, and then that's when you really start doing damage, because this thing has enough power where you never have to worry about really running out at all. Unless you really push it with like DC packs and stuff. But you can fire for a long time. And with that ability, like it can do so much more damage than other strikes, just because it fires longer than more weapons. You know, it has less weapons than a War Raider, but it can fire way longer, and it has computer hacks and buffs you can use to do more damage. So I mean, it's super viable still. And then you have the FR, Fleet Recon of that ship, and I still think it's one of the best strikes. 3 weapons, but the thing with that is you can really stack up with computer buffs and DC. It's got 1 hull, so you just got 1 DC there, so it's not using too much power. 5 computers. It's still got, you can stack so much avoidance on the ship, like with all the avoidance engines. It's got like 4 avoidance, or it's got, I think, 4 engines and 5 computers, so you can put avoidance buffs and all this stuff, damage buffs, to kind of balance out the low amount of weapons. And with that much power it has and the low amount of weapons, you can shoot longer than most ships, doing technically more damage. If they run out of power, you're doing way more damage. And then again, you can stay alive really long and then save enough power, and it has the computer buffs to make it do so much damage. So it just looks sick. So come on. It's a really awesome ship. Now I'm gonna just tell you guys, I switched to Cylon like a year ago, I think. I'm pretty sure. And like I'm starting to kind of miss my Colonial account, so I'm trying to faction switch back, but it says I'm not eligible, so I'm trying every day. I contacted Big Point, and they said that it's constantly letting people switch. There's just not a slot open yet, so they said try every day. Yeah, so I guess I'm still trying, but I'm still okay with Cylon for now. But like, I kind of miss Colonials and stuff, all the ships and friends and stuff. So I'm gonna probably go back, but for now I'm a Cylon, and I still really like it though. I bought some ships as a Cylon, so I mean it's kind of cool, but most of them I already had from Colonial. So yeah, so sorry, Fleet Recon. And then now we have different from the other video, this has been upgraded, and it's much better. They added so many hull points, and the boost speed went from like, I don't remember, was it 80 something around there, 90, I don't remember, but it's 110 now, and they buffed so much stuff. Hull points, boost speed, I don't know if there was anything else, I can't remember, but it's really viable now. And like it can still have, it's a mixture between the Raider and this one. So I mean, it's got the hull of this one, but or a good amount of hull just like that one, and a good amount of engines like that, like the Raider. So it's got enough defense and enough avoidance to be just as viable. And then it's got a good amount of hull points, already good speed, and it's just awesome. And because it only has 2 computers, you save enough power. You're not using too much, so it's pretty deadly. And I think this is the coolest looking strike, honestly. Like just this normal skin. I know you can get another paint from a mission or event, but I think this is one of the coolest looking ships in the game, honestly. There's just something so awesome about it. Like you can see all the all these parts and like this little gold part here, and it's really detailed, and I really like it, like the little vents there. So very awesome. You have the Marauder. Now honestly, like in the last video I said I really liked it, and I really still do, but I think I like the Rhino's design better and stuff, but this isn't a video about design. Let's just talk strictly about the ships. It's still very good with the kinetic kill cannons. They gave it a new engine too. It's like an overcharge engine. You can when you click on it, it gives you like massive boost speed to like the same level as this. So that's very cool, and it's still got the kinetic kill cannons. It's got a new computer that's amazing though. It just boosts power levels and does it boost power levels? I think it boosts the power recharge, but I'm very happy with it. Where is it? No, I'm on lines. Hold on. Here it is. So it just gives you straight up power points and a lot of restore. This really helps the ship because the kill cannons use a lot of power, and with computers, and if you want to slide in there, it was really hard to like be effective because you just kept running out of power. But with this, just like the Wraith, what they did, like it gives it more power, makes it much more viable. So that's a really good computer to have, and I recommend that. And the kinetic kill cannons are still great. So this is still an awesome ship. And next one is the War Raider. Now I had this on Colonials. That's where I first got it. Why do I keep doing that? It's amazing. 5 weapons and like balanced everything else. Like it does so much damage for a strike. It's super viable in dogfighting and killing escorts, even lines. Like it's a really deadly ship, and versus strikes, when you have an avoidance debuff, they're pretty much toast. And with the damage buff, it does so much damage. So this is an amazing ship, and like there's not much more to say. It's just an awesome ship. Looks great, performs great. I used to, in my last video, I said it was a dogfighter because like I didn't know about hull, but if you think about it, here's my philosophy on hull points. So if you use an armor plate with the DC, or 2 armor plates and a DC in this case, because it's got 3 hull, that means that your hull points aren't being boosted, but your DC packs basically are. So what I mean by that is, it basically DC or armor just kind of it's just it's like, think about it as fortified hull points. So the hull points are the same, but they're much stronger if you think about it. And then a DC will heal a really good amount of your health bar because you don't have as many hull points, but each hull point is much more valuable. But if you have hull plates on, that's just boosting your HP, and a DC will fill up less of your bar. Even though it's the same amount of HP, it's technically not as strong. So using armor, each DC pack does way more for you. So, and it's just good to have, get some armor value up, keep your defense nice. So that's a really good setup. Even with your avoidance, if you're dodging a lot, and then every time you get a DC, you can fill up your health gauge even while you're being attacked. So that's really awesome. And with a good amount of power and power management on the ship, you can do awesome. So this is a really good ship. And different from last video, I have a stealth now. I bought it, and I'm very happy with it. Except for the fact that this. how much it costs to advance it, and with the whole roll ability, how much that costs. Like, it'll cost so many merits. I mean, I really like how everything is new, because like I was saying in the last video, like cannons, missiles, it kind of gets old after a while, honestly. And when they put everything new for the ship, everything, it kind of, and only for the ship, it kind of brought a special kind of feel to it. And it's got that a really cool ability, you know, the stealth. You can sneak around, you know, they can't find you, and then you can pop out. But the only problem is the advanced ship has like 300 hull points, and it sucks. Like, it's really bad on advanced. You'll die instantly. And that's why the advanced one's better, but they nerfed it in the beta and like in the newer version of the game. The only problem with that was, first of all, 2 launchers made it viable to like actually go for kills, like lines and stuff. Like, you can't really kill a line. It's very hard. So they took that launcher away, and then they also made it unavailable to play in different sectors. So if you just want to like, that means all the ships in the game have the ability to go anywhere in the game. This one doesn't. You can't go everywhere you want. So you have to go in certain sectors. So I mean, that kind of like, I don't know, it changes my feelings about it, because I like the freedom to go anywhere I want, not just being able to go in the certain PvP sectors with like better players. You could troll lower players with any ship you want. Think of a Viper Mark II or a Raider with all speed engines or like avoid engines, and you just go after like smaller players because they can't run away, and you just murder them. So why does it matter with the stealth? There's no difference except that you can sneak up on them. But I guess I understand it. But they also took it out of Top Gun tournaments, so you can't use it in tournaments. So it can't be really your viable ship for just everything. I usually like to have like a ship I use for a while that I just use for everything. Mining, combat. I don't switch ships a lot just to use them for different things. Sometimes for mining asteroids or whatever with the Raptors, or the Heavy Raiders. But this ship is basically only good for maybe sneaking up on people who aren't expecting you, or mining ships. I don't know, until I advance it, which I kind of want to. Again, I still really like it. Like, it's a cool concept, but I'm just kind of sad. It's okay. I hope they do different things with it, though. But that's fine. You have the Banshee. Now, this is now considered one of the worst escorts in the game after they buffed the other ones. It's weak with hull. The speed doesn't give that much for you. Its power consumption's horrible. I mean, it just uses way too much. It doesn't have enough. It's just not as viable anymore, but there are some setups that make it amazing. Like I said, 3 or 4, even 2 missiles on it with all speed. You can stay away from escorts and be able to outrun them and shoot missiles at them. And if you have upgraded missiles, it's kind of effective, and especially against lines, they can't shoot the missiles, so you can just kind of like do your thing, just run circles around them, shooting missiles right into them. So that's kind of awesome, and it's just really fun to do with this ship because it's so fast. It's like strike speed. It's like a rhino. So I mean, that's awesome. And then it also has these new weapons, capital blasters. That's what makes it different. Like, people have a reason to use them now to go against carriers, which are super OP. But again, you can only shoot at carriers, so it's still like you can't use it for everything. So that's why I'd never use those weapons. But they're good weapons if you want to shoot at capital ships. And that means that if you're using it for everything, you wouldn't be as good against capital ships with normal guns than you would with those. So you have to use those if you want to go against capital ships. But if you don't go against capital ships, then they're horrible because they don't even shoot, I don't think. And so that means you kind of have to choose. So it just kind of sucks. I don't know. I really love the ship, though, with the missile boats, but I don't know about those new weapons. I feel like they should make just totally new weapons that would work for everything, not specifics and stuff. I think they should... What they used to do in the game was everything could do everything. But now it's like certain things can only shoot at this, or you can only go in these sectors. So I don't know. But yeah, there's the Banshee. Still viable. Just a good setup. Now, Spectre, just like in my last video, I said it's amazing. like incredible power. It's insane. Just the amount of firepower you got from the power levels. You can shoot for, just like the Heavy Raider, you can shoot for a really long time doing damage. And tied with, or along with these computer buffs and debuffs, you can debuff their damage, avoidance, and just like wail on them with a damage buff with all this power, and you can shoot forever. And just use a DC pack and 2 armor, like you're loaded. You know, you got decent speed already. Load 2 missiles on there and the rest guns. You can still like missile bow for a while, and then when they get close, you got a good amount of firepower. That's really effective. This ship, I still think, is one of the better escorts in the game. Like it's almost unmatched, but if you have a really good setup. Like, they're super deadly, and I really like them. I still think I like the glaive design better, though, but yeah. You have the Wraith. Now, what they did with the Wraith, I'm very happy about. They added a roll ability. So, I mean, straight up 80 more power points, a lot more restore, and hull point restore. So this ship is super good now, and it even has this capital blaster type thing, nuke launchers, but can only shoot at capital ships. It's better than nothing. Think about it. If it just wasn't there, if it was, it's still better. So that's fine. But it just with this basically computer buff, it just makes it super viable now, because this thing was always running out of power. That was the problem with it. Everything else was good except for speed, but you can always improve that with buffs and engines. So I mean, now it's incredibly viable. So this is an awesome ship now. So I recommend it. Like, it's awesome now. You have the Lich, your standard multi-roll, 7 weapons, really deadly escort, super fast, almost to the point of this. So you can do really good stuff with missiles, and it's got decent power, decent everything else. But with the firepower, this is an awesome ship too. It just costs a lot of merits for me to upgrade. But yeah, I mean, I have almost all the ships except for this last carrier. I don't even know. That's gonna be a while if I even want it, because I don't think it's my style. I like to be able to just be independent. I don't need support from, like, the whole point of the ship is, you know, you be able to dock strikes and it's a squad thing. But I like to fly independent stuff. Like, I can do it. I can be just as good on my own as in a team. This one's mostly for teams. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. But so this is a really good ship still. I got the Fenrir. Now, I really want an Acer because I love that design. But the Fenrir also looks cool, especially the classic one. I love how they're doing this classic one. Big point, we need more classic skins for all the ships. Come on. The Marauder looked awesome before. Like, that looked amazing. Even the Wraith looked cool. I love that design. Like, that'd be awesome. And so some other things, like the old Rhino and stuff, and the old colonial ships. I know they brought a few back, but come on, I kind of want some more. But yeah, so the Fenrir is really fast for a line ship, like on the line of the Wraith and Escort, and it's got so much firepower and decent. It's basically a multi-role ship. It is a multi-role ship, except it's called an interceptor, but it's a multi-role ship. Almost all the stats are almost the same with this ship and the Nidhogg. Like, very similar ships. The only thing is, take away a weapon and give it 2 engines. That's pretty much it. A little more hull on this thing, but 1 weapon for 2 engines. What would you rather have? Some little differences in stats, but that's all it comes down to, basically. And so these two are basically like tied for like as good. I didn't understand before in my last video because like I didn't understand the importance of the engines on this ship, but this is a really good line, especially for missiles. Put 3 missiles on a side, you can chase people down with put all long guns. You have enough power to use all your computers and DC and keep a stable amount of damage and being maneuverable enough. That's a perfect line. And everything's perfect about that ship. This is an amazing like ship to fly. I love it. So this is this one. And then, like I said in my last video, currently my favorite line is this. Just like the Vanner, my first line I ever bought. Now, in the last video I said my Jotun, but I really love my Vanner. Like, I changed my mind. It was my first line ship, my first my first battle cruiser, you know, like, I just love it. And why I love it is it's got even better hull points than the Fenrir, Advanced Fenrir, so that's a little bonus. It's the same weapons as the Fenrir. Take away a lot of speed, though. That's the only sacrifice, but not too much speed. It's still faster than the Jormung and stuff. But, and you have all these computers, and computers are not as effective as the lower class ships for lines, but they last so much longer. So you can have buffs going for a long time. The cool thing about these this command line is it basically incorporates. This is what I mean by multi-role. This could also be a multi-role. It incorporates all of the ships into one ship, if you think about it, if you use the right computers to make that happen. You could have a speed buff and a speed debuff to make it like as fast as basically your standard Acer or your Fenrir. You can have a damage debuff on them, so they're doing less damage to you. And so that can kind of give you a little more edge on hull than some of the other ships. And then you have the power levels, and like you can fit damage buffs on there to make it do just as much damage as this. So it's basically, if you use all the computers right, it incorporates all aspects into this ship, but with 900 power points. That's a lot of power points. That's what's most important about this ship. It's not about the computers, it's about the power points. You can use those computers with it and use, like, here, I'll show you. This is my build. I use all long weapons and then long missiles and 1 DC, 2 turbos, and then all these computer buffs and stuff. But even after using all of these and a DC pack, I still have a whole lot of power. It's like half power left still. It's crazy. Shooting missiles off, you're gaining. I even tried it. Turning off the missiles and just shooting all of the guns, which is what it normally would do. Power points actually recharge instead of slowly get worse. They slowly get better. It actually recharges over your weapon cost if you're using this. So I can constantly. And like if they get out of your arc, you're still charging more power points because you're not shooting as many weapons. And this isn't using anything when it's just being shot by itself. So this is an incredible ship for power. That's why I feel like this is a good ship for 1v1. Because you never run out of power points, so you can use it to its max potential. You can keep recharging power points with this, and because it doesn't have as many hull points to begin with, put an armor on there, like I said before, it heals a lot of your health. And with all these buffs and weapons and power, this is an amazing line ship, and I think it's way overrated. Or, sorry, well, to me it is. Underrated because of this. And this. And even this. Just because, right off the bat, they're really good ships. This one's fast. This one's got a lot of health. This one does a lot of damage. This one's just kind of weak. But if you get good gear, it's super deadly, and I really, really like this ship, and I think more people should try to get better gear for it, and then they can realize that it's a really good ship. That brings me to my next point, is this one. Now, I love my Jotun in Colonials, but, this ship, I kind of like the other design more, but this one, still the same. It's got crazy hull points. It's insane. Armor value through the roof is super slow, though. Power is just decent. But, Jesus, it's insane. You can tank, like I said before, lines do, 40 damage sometimes. It's crazy. You can have more hull points than a carrier. You can have, 13,000, something like that. Insane. I think armor's still better, though. I've done some research. But, if that's a lot of hull points. But, yeah, I guess if you're not using DC, just hull points would be best, possibly. But I use DC, so I do that. But there's advantages to each with turn rate and acceleration and whatever. But yeah, so this is a really solid ship. No, pun intended. It's actually solid. But yeah, hull points or armor value, they're both viable. Anything like that. Any hull point is viable because they have drawbacks. And so this takes away, let's say, 1 degree and minus 0.2. That's for hull. Now with armor, it does... It takes away acceleration, but your turn rate is better. I think, right? Turn acceleration... 0.5. Yeah, so you accelerate faster, but you turn slower. So, I mean, whatever you want. It kind of affects lines a lot because they're already slow. So, hull points don't really matter, or hull plates. So, get whatever you want. And the HT plates just don't take away anything. So, that's pretty solid too. So, whatever you feel like. Totally depends on you. That's why I felt like in my first video I was kind of wrong with the Viper when I said hull is better for whatever, because anything can work. So that's kind of the beauty of this game. Anything can work. And then you have the Nidhogg, which I most recently bought. Actually used some real money this time because I'm not saving that. And then also to buy this. But it wasn't that much. I got this crazy deal. For $30 I got 400,000 cubits. That's insane. Amazing. And stuff like that. So this ship is also really good. I don't have it advanced, so basically I have no reason to use it yet. I mean, there's some little advantages to it, but this is what I'd probably use, or this. But like this thing, first of all, looks sick. I think I might even like it more than the Gungnir just because of how it looks. Like, it's way crazier, and it just looks like something Star Trek, like in the new rebooted movie. It just looks sick, and these animations with that's awesome. But this ship would be really good if I upgraded it, but it's still really decent. 8 weapons still, 3-3, like everything is still solid. I don't even know if you don't advance it, you might even be able to save more power points. I don't know if that little amount of recharge and power points when you upgrade it would even help that last weapon that much. So I mean, there might be a little advantage there, but yeah, it's a solid ship. Like, I have it now and I'm really liking it. But so I mean, I just got to upgrade it, but that's kind of a high price to pay. Yeah, I mean, I could wait for a ship sale, but again, I have to save up a lot of merits, and I'm kind of hoping to advance this, but I could do this. But again, I'm really a fan of this, so do I have a point of doing this? Too many people use this ship. Seriously, I'm one of those guys who uses the underrated thing, because that kind of makes me feel, you know, like, more special. I don't just use what everyone does. I kind of stand apart, unless I really like something. So, this ship is, like, I go into a fleet battle and almost every single ship is this. So I mean, that's cool. And until like some people use other ships, like, I mean, I've seen some, but I mean, I really like it, but that's just me. Like, I still really like it though. It's a really solid ship. So if you want to go for that, totally go for it. It's worth it. And then the Surtur is the only ship I don't have, and the only ship I might never have. I don't know. It seems super OP. Health points are insane. Just the abilities it has. I was being killed in my line from this thing from like 4,000 away. It's like, how is that fair at all? And they do a lot of damage. So I'm like, that's not really fair. And like, if you fly up to a strike next to it and uses that like kind of like shotgun like explosion, you're just dead. It can kill anything. The only problem I have with this ship, plus those other issues, like I said before, like it's not really a standalone ship, really. If you can have like a hull plate or like a special ability where you can launch like NPC strikes, that'd be really cool. Like Star Trek Online, like a carrier, like when you launch hangar pets. That'd be awesome. Like if you had that, so you don't have to rely on actual players. So you can fly it by yourself. The only problem I have with this ship is it's not really balanced. So what I mean by that is, every ship in this game is technically balanced. A line can kill a strike. It's kind of hard though, because they like dodge a lot, but like it might take a while. But a strike can kill a line. It may take a while. An escort can kill a strike, but a strike can kill an escort if they like get in their blind spot. It's pretty balanced, honestly. An escort can kill a line. If you get in their blind spot, you shoot missiles far away. There's plenty of strategies. Each class is balanced. Now take a strike versus this thing. There's no way you're killing it. You don't do enough damage. It has too much armor value. It has DC packs, I'm pretty sure. It heals so much. And it has that like all the point defense and that burst ability. It's really hard to win. And that's what's not really fair. These things can kill every class in the game, technically. But escorts and strikes, besides the Banshee with the capital blasters, are kind of screwed. There's no really way to do it. I know lines can. That's one of the reasons I'm using a line, because it can go against everything. The lines and the carriers can go against everything. These can't because of this. That's why I feel like this is now starting to be like a combat ship where like people just abuse range in op defense and stuff, and they just kill people from far away instead of what it was meant to be, which was a strike platform. Now it has all these crazy weapons that shoot way too long. But it used to be a strike in the early versions of the game. It used to be a strike platform where you can launch ships out, and like that was cool. And it wasn't too OP. You need one for op defense to keep your strikes working. That's not really the point of it anymore, and that's what it's supposed to be. I feel like it's kind of not really balanced. That's what I'm saying. And I think they should make another capital ship that doesn't do the whole carrier thing. Make it maybe just as many hull points, but like take away its offensive capabilities and make it maybe. Actually, I kind of like the idea of launching strikes, but make them have the ability to launch NPCs as well, so you don't have to depend on players. So have that same ability, but kind of make it like a Battlestar, But don't make it OP, so make it so all ship classes are balanced against it. Try to figure it out. That'd be the perfect ship. Maybe even fix this one. But, yeah, that's my ship review of all the ships. I hope it was better than the last video, because I didn't have a mic. I was just using my computer. I was younger. It wasn't, I have new opinions. So, yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. I always like doing these. Now, because I have this new mic and I really like doing commentaries and stuff, just let me know if there are any other videos you'd want me to do on Battlestar Galactica. Like commentary videos, that stuff I can talk about. Issues with the game. I have opinions on the whole game. If there's any other things you want me to discuss in depth, just go over... just hear me talk, kind of podcast style. That'd be really nice, because I have no idea what to do. Star Trek is different. You do reviews on different ships, but this game's a lot different. There's not as much to talk about, but I really want to, because I love this game. And I love making YouTube videos, so just give me some ideas. Stuff to make videos about, talk to. I'll even, probably put your comment in the video, cut it out, picture, and, put it in, and then start talking about it. So if there's anything you want me to talk about, just let me know. I'd gladly do it, because I love this game. I love you guys. So thanks for watching.